Hello everyone, it's Lieutenant again, and I'm 10 seconds late, but oh well. So, I'm joined by Miss Malissa Jones for episode 5 for certain amounts of fear. And let's jump straight into it.
All right, that sounds good. I'm pretty excited to be here.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to have you on here on the podcast.
This is my first appearance on a podcast. Yeah, this is pretty exciting.
This is my 5th.
Good. So you've got the routine down.
Yeah. My 3rd way of doing it with the questions written down.
Questions written down is a nice guide.
Yeah.
I like that. I appreciate that.
My 3rd time, I think, or 4th time. Yeah, 4th time.
Okay.
So, without any further delay, question 1. Miss Jones.
Yes.
Why do you think some people could enjoy a certain amount of fear, like at Screamfest at Canopy Lake Park?
I can definitely speak for myself as far as, and I think other people would agree with me on this, that individuals like to have safe fear. They can experience that sense of adrenaline, that rush that you get when you're scared, but not actually have anything bad happen to them. So by watching scary movies or reading scary books or hearing ghost stories or going to amusement parks, it gives you that really fun scare, but you're safe. Or you're removed from the situation. Like if you're watching, a scary movie, for instance, you get to experience it through the eyes of someone else, but you're removed from the situation. So you kind of get that creep factor, but you're also safe and happy.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yes. And honestly, horror movies, they're awesome.
Mm-hmm. I do love a good scary movie.
And to talk about movies, my personal favorite is sci-fi and fantasy for genre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And do you have a favorite genre?
I would say my favorite movie genres are action adventure and horror movies. As a little kid growing up, The Wizard of Oz used to scare me because of the witch. I mean, she was kind of a mean lady. And that was when I was really little. And for whatever reason, it's that draw of having that safe scare. Much later in life, I had seen the movie Halloween, the original movie. And I just loved it because it really creeped me out. And I loved that feeling. But not many movies since then have kind of created that, this idea of evil that keeps following you, that you can't die. So I've always really loved the original Halloween for that. But even still, I love watching, scary movies or adventure movies as they come out. If there's a good car chase in it, makes it even better.
Yeah.
How about you?
Oh, well, I'm kind of the same way on that one. And, yeah. So question 2.
Okay.
Why may some people enjoy more fear than others?
Well, there's that term, adrenaline junkies.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, anyone would like to be called an adrenaline junkie or addicted to, scary stuff. But, everybody likes different things. We're all drawn to different things. And, if I'm sitting at home and have time to sit down and watch a movie, I'll probably be watching along the genres that I really enjoy. I don't know. What do you think on that? Why do you think some people like more fear than others?
Well, me personally, I like a lot of fear because it really gets me, going. I'm oh, hell yes. I love movies like sci-fi and fantasy because, Godzilla Final Wars,
Mm-hmm.
that movie, even though it's 2004 and I was born in 2006,
Mm-hmm.
it's still older than me, but I still love older movies, like 1900 movies.
Yeah. There's some good stuff. Just because it didn't come out today doesn't mean that, it's not good to watch. And along those lines with your thought about older movies, as an artist, I really enjoy movie magic before CGI. how did they do certain effects? Because certainly they had to do it in a way that seemed real. Although, figuring out lighting, how they might change or make certain equipment to make something look real when it wasn't. I think all that stuff is fascinating.
Yeah. So, So, number 3. Would you, Miss Jones, enjoy a lot of fear at a theme park, like Canterbury Lake Park for Screamfest and October for Halloween?
Yes, I think I would. In fact, I didn't know that they had a Scream Fest there.
Oh, wow.
But I'm going to have to look it up now because I've been, but it's been a long time since I've been to Canterbury Lake Park. But I will say, some friends of mine and I went down to Orlando Studios maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and we went in it was either early October or late September just to go to the Fear weekend nights. And it was phenomenal. They had people who worked at Orlando Studios dressed up in these crazy creature costumes. They had different kinds of haunted houses, like they had the Myers house. They had a Walking Dead kind of house. They had street shows during the night in the theme park. One of the Purge movies had just come out. And so they had a live bus show of people. It was a double-decker bus, so the people on the top, they had folks being auctioned off, and they had people walking around with pretend chainsaws, and it was really...
Sorry for the cough.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, that does sound fun.
It really was. Yeah, it's such a bizarre event to be a part of. It's just unlike anything that I'd ever seen before.
Yeah, and also, we also do have someone else in here, Johanna.
Hello.
She's just wiping down her workstation if you're wondering what's going on in the background. So that's what's happening.
I much appreciate it too. This was unsolicited help.
Yeah.
She just jumped right in. Thank you.
Yeah, so question 4. Would you work somewhere that you could have a scaring possession, like a Canterbury Lake Park? I'm bringing it up a lot, but you guys have Screamfest that starts at the end of September and ends at the end of October, as far as I know. And I did my research.
Good. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so would you work like a theme park for scaring people?
I think that would be so much fun to do. I mean, I love Halloween anyway. And I always dress up my porch every year for trick-or-treaters, and sometimes I get dressed up, and I have a blast. And there's people all over the country that really work at different kinds of attractions to make things scary. One of the places that I had heard about is Eastern State Penitentiary, which is right down in Pennsylvania. I had a chance to visit there once, and in the scarier months of, I should say the Halloween month of October, they do some nighttime walkthroughs where you can go on a tour of the building, and sometimes they take one person and they bring that one person to a select cell and they kind of scare them. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, and talking about your Porsche that you just brought up.
Yeah,
like put in my, so something that came up in my mind was like you can have all the doors open. Well, maybe not the trunk and the hood, but have the doors open. Well, you could as you said, decorate it. You could put lights just like around it.
Oh yeah.
Make it scary and put some skeletons in all the seats. Mm-hmm. Have them a light on their head.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, and then in the driver's seat, one of them is just and you could make your car look like it just blew up or something. Well, on the outside, of course, because on the inside it's just
find an old beater and just a really old car and really spook it up. That could be actually making a car spooky. I think would be really cool to do. I haven't thought about doing that in the past, but when I bought my house, there was no front porch. Oh. So I actually, when I redid the roof, I had a small one put on. And I usually have some kind of mannequin or something sitting out front. I have lots of pumpkins. I do put out lights, and oh my gosh, I have so much fun. And I get a lot of young trick-or-treaters, and they are not at all afraid to come up and knock on the door. Although I do have a doorbell that sometimes I put out, and when you ring it, this like eyeball just opens and it glows green. So
that I could picture that, and it's awesome.
It is fun. But I like this idea of taking a car, or even like a tiny house, like the tiny houses that Mr. Tilton has downstairs.
Which we brought up last episode.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's the YouTube version, which is like 15 minutes long.
Uh-huh.
Then the audio in the one that's like 8 or 9 minutes, but obviously with Spotify, only capable of displaying videos. We got the YouTube version, which is fully out, which on YouTube it's called the Destructible Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, cause me and Kaden figured that like, with it, we could put like videos on it for the podcast.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, this was great.
Yeah.
Any more questions for me?
Yes, and number 5, which is the last one. Would you design a camper, with your Porsche, that's 2 exits as a small Halloween haunted house?
Oh, that would be so cool to do. Yeah. Oh, I love that. In order to like get to the porch, they have to walk through this like creepy trailer.
Yeah, because there's a camper. There's a door on this side. Then on the opposite side, at the opposite end, there's another door they had to get into. And there's a haunted house, and there's the scary haunted house. Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be really, really cool to do. I was always envious. There's a house not far from here, and the previous owners, they used to make like a scary maze in their yard, and folks could walk through it, which I always thought that was really cool. And it must have taken quite a while to set up and, paint and put things together, but, and they probably made it a little bit different each year, but, that's dedication. That is really cool stuff.
Yeah, anyone, I guess you could say question 5. Would you decorate, because I'm coming up with this now. Would you decorate your, on the spot, would you decorate your classroom? Because you do have a big classroom. So
that's true.
Yeah, would you decorate your classroom for Halloween?
I mean, theoretically, the middle school does that spooky walk, which they haven't been able to do in a few years, but,
it's COVID.
Because of COVID, which has been unfortunate. I mean, you could put like a divide down my room and really turn it into like a giant U. So you could make a smaller like walkway for people to come through and really make, kind of terrifying with different sections of stuff.
Because you have 2 doors that laid out at opposite ends.
That's true.
Same side, opposite sides of the side of the room.
I could see that working.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun. I would love this year. I think the spooky walk, because of COVID, it didn't happen again. But if they do it next year, I'd love to get involved in it because I heard it was absolutely fantastic when they did it the first time. Mr. Lombardi was really excited.
Yeah, back in 2019.
Yeah, gosh, it's been that long already.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that long. I'm in my freshman 9th grade year.
So that would be your 7th grade year.
Yeah, it does not feel that long, but it's been so long.
Yeah. Wow, that's very cool. Yep.
Yeah.
October, autumn is my favorite time. You get the nice breezes that aren't super cold, but it's got kind of that cooler chill in the air, and you hear the scraping of leaves along the ground, and people get very excited about pumpkin spice, and I just love seeing pumpkins. It just makes me happy.
Yeah. So, pumpkins, those fun fact, my neighbor, decorated her pumpkin, because she had a pumpkin for Halloween, but then she turned it. So then she could use it at Christmas time. She put a Santa hat on it, yeah.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
The photo's lost in my phone somewhere, but I can find it like September, October. But yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. A Halloween pumpkin turned into a Christmas decoration. Now, how could you do that? It was actually quite cute seeing it, but
I bet. Was it a real pumpkin?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a smaller, pumpkin, but, it was still, it was actually cute to see.
Oh, that's neat. Well, there's no reason why you can't dress them up for different times of the year. It's just they tend to, grow and be ready at the harvest season. But
Obviously,
we just make you smile.
and with rotting and stuff, but my neighbor somehow managed to keep hers long enough so that she could use it for Christmas.
Neat. That's very cool.
Yeah. It actually still looked pretty good, so
Yeah?
for another month and a half later.
Wow. That's one good pumpkin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Collin.
Yeah, that is, our episode is concluded. Final question is all done. So, is there anything else you'd like to say, Miss Jones?
I would like to say that this was a super fun topic to be talking about, and I'm glad that we were able to make this work. And who knows, maybe I'll come back again someday.
Yeah. So, and Johanna, do you want to say anything final? No. Right. What about to your cousins and what about to your cousins if they listen to this?
Don't bother me.
Oh.
Well, we may see you in an episode. Yeah, we may see you in episode 9. Maybe, I don't know. So thank you for listening to episode 5 on certain amounts of fear. I hope you have a good time listening to it, and I hope you have an amazing weekend.